and change and play with each other and potentially join up for the next season of RLCS, which is, you know, right around the corner. It might only be, we obviously don't know dates for sure yet, but it might only be a few weeks away, maybe in January, possibly February. So now the time is where, you know, rubber's meeting the road. This is starting to become RLCS practice for a lot of these teams, and TORRES for IDK will get us off and running here in Game 1.
It's always funny seeing the TORRES name. I almost feel like I can hear Gary Neville in the distance screaming away over the Champions League, but we are a long way before we reach Champions League. But it's still a nice way to get the series up and running, Crafters. You always love to score early just to settle the nerves, especially in such a volatile game such as Game 1. Every little helps.
Certainly does, and I know we saw in our last series that we just had with Nombre del Equipo that Spanish Bim Bam wasn't working all completely in their favor, but perhaps it will with this Spanish flavor of roster of IDK. Of course, going against EJBY Compact and formerly of Endpoint, Mr. SIMAS. Hello.
Sorry. Where was that? Spain, you're telling me? No. I'm going all Lithuanian, baby. That's all SIMAS. What a lovely lift over ZAMUÉ. And again, we talk about that experience from ZAMUÉ. They found themselves in the right place, but they didn't really get the lift on the initial jump to make that block properly. So with that extra little flick over, SIMAS is able to tie things up real quick.
He still links to Endpoint from the beginning of last season, so not quite Madrid, but maybe Sheffield in Compact will make it too for ESC.
We'll travel around the world in 80 days, why don't we? And we've got 3 goals in 60 seconds, so I'll let you guys decide which is better value. Just a really simple help it on its way sort of maneuver there. Can go slightly awry, especially when your back's to the goal. You're kind of trying to do the mathematics and the angles in your head, but well enough. They managed to convert that second, and the turn's tabled immediately. Lovely to see these two opponents not exactly shy to get themselves in front of the net and score some goals early on for us.
Yeah, this is what we want, a complete goal fest. And 3 goals, like you said, in the first minute. Sets us up very nicely for this semi-final game. Best of 5 to get to the grand final, of course. And grand final, of course, means you will get some kind of prize. You'll get at least $600 for coming second tonight. $1,500 if you can go on and win the whole darn thing. And the ESC or Escape, whatever you want to call them, Eurovision Song Contest, perhaps. They might be singing a little bit of a chirpy tune here as they're up early and threatening again with perhaps goal number 3 as KERNIAN touches that ball down very awkwardly in the corner, and it will be picked up by EJBY as he comes over the top of TORRES.
Yeah, I got from a synergetic symphony to a bit of discordant melody, although I say that, get the song sheet out because everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet here on I Don't Know. Lovely backboard play with the demo play to cover. TORRES, all he had to do was throw it into the open net. Bish bash bosh, you find yourselves at a 2-2 scoreline. Just over 2 minutes gone as well, so despite that early go-ahead goal, despite the early setbacks, I Don't Know proving that they still got some creativity to display for the next half of this game.
Yeah, they're really proving their name is truly ironic early on in this semi-final, because they say they don't know, but they seem to be all on the same page, like you said, and they seem to know exactly what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing on defense, though. SIMAS the third.
Never before has a caster uttered a sentence that has been proven so wrong.
I'm sure there's been worse.
To be fair, it's not so much that they don't know what they're doing, it's rather that they've gone so wholeheartedly into their game plan. It was such a high press that one wrong challenge, one ball throwing itself away in a positive direction for the blue team means that they've got themselves an open net to shoot at, and it almost happens yet again, but that way they were hoping for a little bit of luck on their side, but they're not going to find it. KERNIAN's got a quick turnaround here, but so mighty and fast in the midfield are Escape that they have been able to escape their own side of the pitch. They've got a demo on ZAMUÉ. KERNIAN tries to throw it away, but there's a demo on Compact now, and it's right back down the other end.
This is a completely different. If you joined us in our quarterfinal game, you would see this one is a completely different pace from what we saw earlier on. This has just been fast and furious from the get-go. Absolutely no stopping, no slowing down whatsoever. And SIMAS might even have his hat trick, and he will. 4-2.
And I don't know really need to change things up here on the fly, because this is the second time that they've been caught out with that third man from Escape upfield, sort of half-heartedly rotating back, hoping that something might be fed to them, and indeed it has. Again, 2 goals out of the 4 now through this particular method, and without those 2 goals, it's still a tie game.
We'll say great possession though from SIMAS. Knows that his teammate is up to make the challenge and has confidence that he's going to win that challenge, and just you know, sits in the upfield. No one's around him, no one to mark him, and he's there for the easy tap in for his 3rd of this game, 4th for ESC. Escape. They will look to be escaping out of this first game with the win. Still a couple, I was going to say a couple minutes. I can see football left. It's not a mystery. It's not like added time in football. Why is that? Why did, like, I went to a football game. The last time I went to a football game was like a couple years ago. It was a Champions League game in Madrid when we were there for RLCS. And when it went to added time, they don't count the clock up. We just have to rely on the ref. What's the deal with that?
Relying on the ref is a dangerous statement to make in England at the moment, let me tell you that much. And on that, I will say no more, otherwise the FA will be after my head. But so far, still ahead.
I'm sure the FA are watching.
I'm sure they most certainly, I mean, they better be. The Rendezvous is the place to be here on a Thursday evening. And trying to find themselves for the 3rd goal now is, I don't know, you can read it there yourselves, folks. 30 seconds now left on the clock. Time running out. Still enough time to score those 2, but very slim pickings as the seconds tick on down.
Yeah, not able to come forward with too much authority as Compact just keeps them honest and sweet back in the net. Looking for a 5th, but it won't really matter all that much as time has ticked down. And the seconds are drained off of this clock. The sands of time have elapsed. And game number 1 looks to be going the way of Escape, and it will.
Just a game where both opponents were willing to punch each other into the ground, really. They didn't really care too much about the blocks. It was all about who was going to deal out the most damage quickest, and on this occasion, it was Escape there, racking up the 9 shots on target. But you got to say, I don't know, they're going to be feeling a little bit hard done by, because if they had focused a little bit more on defense, and like I say, a couple of those goals, just from a defensive point of view, I don't like it. I appreciate a high press. I don't like it when we don't find that rapid relocation to rotate, so you've at least got 1 back to deal with that sort of threat. If they focus a little bit more on the defense, then we're probably talking overtime at this point, and because they had that better shot output, it's more than likely that they would have gone on to win the game as well. So I want to see the adaptation. I want to see something slightly more conservative from I know, crazy, saying, hey, play safer. Play safer. But seriously, I think it'll do, the world of good in the midfield especially.
No, I do agree with you on that, because there was, like you said, there were a couple of times where Escape got a goal off of a turnover, and there was just no one there for the defense from I don't know. So, like you say, play a little bit more conservatively, go for the counter-attack style play, especially if both teams want to be, completely high-flying on the ball, go for the challenges in the midfield. If you sit back a little bit, you might draw your opponents in and get 1 touch, and then that could be you. But Compact right off the kickoff, not wanting to be baited in at all. He just wants to go straight for route 1 into that top corner. Will be denied early on though.
Good news for I don't know is that they start off with a clean slate. But you got to say, Escape have certainly looked the better straight out the gates yet again. No goal early on this time, however, and so hopefully for both sides things will be able to settle into a little bit more of a readable rhythm. Certainly helps us as casters as well, although I don't mind the chaos every now and then. A race to the ball. Lovely read actually from KERNIAN that only delays the inevitable. Ball into the centre. Compact not confident enough to read it and get a shot. Tries to reset here towards net. ZAMUÉ away.
Lovely look there from Compact as well. Is everyone just on the defense message that ZAMUÉ does get a touch and it's cleared away, but TORRES, it was an own save. I think he saved his own teammate's shot, and ZAMUÉ may make them pay. Round 1 off the post. Compact makes the save down the other end.
Three incredible shots from Escape. How none of them made their way to the back of the net is extraordinary. The fact that ZAMUÉ then thought he had a go-ahead goal, and again and it's off the line this time from Compact. Well, in the wise words of Will Ferrell, That has escalated quickly, and quickly Escape looking to try and wrestle back as much control as they can, but look at I don't know, they are playing safer, all three behind the ball. It's loose to the far side of the pitch, but there's Torres with the throwaway.
We said it was chaos at the start of game one with 3 goals in 1 minute. We've not even had a goal made in this one. It's been complete chaos from the word go. And ZAMUÉ misses that one, and it will be KERNIAN to make the play away. Up it will go to Torres and out to ZAMUÉ. Can he finish the shot this time around? No, he will come off the ball. I think he ran out of boost towards the end there. And that's the smart play. Just get back, make sure you've got enough boost to go for it again. But SIMAS off the ceiling has a flip reset off the backboard. Perhaps maybe another tap. EJBY there to try and bring that ball down, but Compact can't finish it off.
It's one of those encounters, Crafters, where there are no time, or there is no time, I should say, for mind games. The switch up in play is extraordinary, and Torres, with what seems, contextually speaking, so simple, a pass to themselves off the backboard. Compact really needs to get up immediately rather than taking the long way around, trying to get that save off the top of the inside of the goal. Get around it eventually, but they got around it too late on this occasion, Crafters. That's 1-0, almost 1-1, my word. Compact was close to redemption.
Compact's just been shot out of a cannon a lot of the time in this series, hasn't he? Just been flown across this pitch like our absolute rocket, and it'll be rocketed into the back of the net by SIMAS. Lovely pass from the man himself. In fact, Compact didn't even make contact.
Compact didn't even make contact. It was KERNIAN almost in desperation trying to deny the pass into the middle, and inadvertently aided in their own demise. I don't really think there's actually too much that they could do there. It was better to try and do something than nothing, but still, that just basically means that, I don't know, put themselves in a bad situation to begin with. There weren't many opportunities to wriggle themselves out of it, but they've been able to wriggle their way out of their own half. Lovely redirect by KERNIAN. Again, so many different mini redemption arcs in the space of this 5 minute. Beautiful read from ZAMUÉ as well. Beats 2. KERNIAN in field. Torres Compact with the interception.
Both teams so aggressive with their playmaking abilities. They have players just following up their own touches, as you said, going for these double plays essentially, and calling their teammates off the ball, trying to play essentially a 4v4, getting these extra touches and rotating back so quickly through the midfield. EJBY under one and gets it to SIMAS, who's been the goal machine for Escape.
Yeah, I thought they had that one locked down, so yeah, Torres with a complete mystery. To be fair, he had EJBY throwing themselves at them, so they were probably fearful of a potential bump attempt, and there's a little bit too much for ZAMUÉ to do to be able to redirect that trajectory, or to basically step off the gas mid-air, and now straight off the kickoff, it goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, the floodgate's starting to open now as SIMAS had his second and the first kickoff goal that we've seen on stream here today. Just can't draw that up much better. Lovely little cheap play from Compact as he gets his first of this game, number 2, and it could be so important. And off the kickoff, lovely little play by Torres to get SIMAS, who could have been another kickoff goal for Escape. The Compact will take the boost. EJBY is there, but Torres hunts him down and takes that ball away. And again, the aggressiveness from IDK, it's really proven its worth, just forcing Escape into awkward situations.
And nerves of steel from Escape, and quite the opposite for I don't know. You can see the panic there. Double commit between KERNIAN and Torres, completely unnecessary, although there's a hit on one player. Unfortunately, Escape, they've set up the battlements and they're quite happy to shoot arrows from the towers. They are safe in their house and they simply want to lock it up for the night and go to bed. There's still some administrative work to be done here, Craftman, but with 30 seconds left and 2 to find just to make overtime, I don't know, looking straight down the barrel of a potential reverse sweep scenario.
Got to get this one downfield if they want a chance here in game number 2 and avoid that reverse sweep scenario, as you said. SIMAS will just play this one softly and take this timer dry. And no possession found for IDK down in the blue half of the field as the time does slip away from them. And it will be another game on the board, and only one game away from a spot in the grand final will be Escape. Can they escape themselves out of this semi-final? One game to find out.
Yeah, I don't know, just kind of run out of ideas there at the middle stage, and I don't think that kickoff goal for the third helped at all. It's another 10 shots on target, takes it up to 19 for the series, I think, for Escape. So they're keeping that consistency, but I don't know, actually. I think, again, that conservatism really worked for them in the early half, but because they kind of lost their way, they lost their heads a little bit, we see that shot counter really start to work against them. Only 6 as opposed to the 10 that they had in game number 1. And so now they're in another bit of a tough spot where they've either got to stick or twist. They've either got to try that again, which I think honestly would be the right way to go. They were defensively a lot better, just not for the entirety of that 5 minutes. Escape, they're in the pouncy. They know that they've now got not just 1 life, but 2, 3 lives to get this one across the line, Craftman.
I think for IDK, like you say, you've got to just stick with that counter-attacking strategy because Escape have been so aggressive and they've been leaving their net empty a lot of the time as KERNIAN takes that one off the top corner and gets it away nicely in the first 10 seconds. You see here, one-on-one with TORRES and EJBY, but bang goes the dynamite. See you later, TORRES. No goal for you.
They're into the gold mine, but not finding the goals as of yet. Another one, and I love this from Escape. They're proactive. They are running their own story. That's really what a pass from Compact. The setup sublime, and yet no reward yet again. A return of the favour for TORRES onto Compact, and there's one on the way out on EJBY. KERNIAN slows it down. Don't mind this at all, especially with limited boost. SIMAS intercepts round the corner from TORRES. EJBY up and over the on-rushing attack.
It was Compact I was about to talk about as well. You feel like IDK can sit back, try and get a counter-attack, but you've got to account for the wild card of Compact. He's been flying around this field with aggression, with purpose, and with an absolute reckless abandon that is really throwing IDK off. He's just getting himself involved in the play and get SIMAS the ball to try and make something happen. Get your team chances and you're going to survive in this tournament.
Compact falls on it beautifully, sets up EJBY. TORRES, the bump, does really well to avoid and make the save, and rather than commit even more resources to that, Escape decide to retreat here. SIMAS looking for that Compact connection, and wow, down to EJBY. Could not have orchestrated that any better. Over the top of TORRES to SIMAS. High angle, finds it off the backboard again, thrown to the side by TORRES. No form of momentum. KERNIAN though, this might work out. It's quite fortuitous actually. ZAMUÉ there, but misses the 100 boost on the midfield line, completely unopposed, and I feel like that's kind of summing up I Don't Know's luck at the moment, Craftman. They're kind of working their way back into the game, but they just can't connect all the pieces together.
Yeah, as soon as he missed that 100 boost, that was that play done and dusted. Back to the drawing board, boys. But they are holding their own here, Relic, and keeping this at a 0-0 scoreline, but self-inflicted wounds like that are not going to help. Straight into the hands of Compact, and it will be TORRES able to defend that one on the goal line. 2.5 minutes gone, 2.5 to go. Still no score in this crucial game number 3 here, James. And still won't be as IDK just tried to barrel one over the top of 2 defenders. But EJBY finds SIMAS, finds the crossbar, and finds SIMAS again. 1-0.
You know, they took one too many touches as well there. I would have liked to have seen this particular shot beyond target, but TORRES, you know, honestly, this is one of my biggest gripes with a lot of bubble players, is they think they have the time to, again, take that trip around the inside of the net to make the save. You don't got time anymore. Even with that extra touch, SIMAS able to put it away, completely uncontested in that shot opportunity. Instead, stop and go straight for the connection, go straight for the challenge, because at least you're snuffing the shot before he even has a chance to leave the front bumper. Now on the attack, looking for a second, they're not going to get it, Escape, but with 2 minutes to go, they lead yet again.
The car control from both Compact and SIMAS has been second to none in this series, and he's really putting I Don't Know in a tough spot. Compact takes that away from the defender. Up the wall will go KERNIAN. They need to get something going to do IDK. They've got 2 men to beat there in defense and just kind of falling all over themselves, trying to string some kind of passing play together, but they're falling over themselves. And it's kind of what we saw from Nombre del Equipo in our first series of the day as well. They had the gumption early on in the series, but as it withers on, as they get closer and closer to elimination, the conviction starts to go, but maybe we could see them get a little bit of a comeback, and they're going to have to mount a hell of a comeback here in the last minute. 2-0.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. I would say, honestly, this has been the best all-round performance from I don't know, maybe not as bombastic in the attack, but certainly a lot more control. There's the individual mistakes which have cost them this time around, and with 2 players in net staring at that oncoming shot rather than trying to again be proactive and force the shot so that it might A, go off target, or B, go straight into the front bumper of that defender. They're basically giving Escape control, and that is a control that's been lacking so far in this game, but now they have it, not just in terms of possession, not just in terms of the boost, but in terms of that scoreline, most importantly a third, and this one is surely over.
Perhaps so. We've seen crazier things happen in the last 45 seconds of games at this level. Torres might give him a chance here. I thought that net might have been empty, but EJBY was back and takes it over one. And SIMAS, what a lovely drop down, gets EJBY the third. That is just so much film.
Oh, like one of my mother's hot chocolates. That is silky smooth. And I'm going to drink that up all night long. Please, 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 Escape more of that. Best goal of the evening so far, no doubt about that. And I am afraid that it's almost like the night before Christmas, because that might very well be the final nail in the coffin, barring a miracle.
Yeah, it might not be a miracle on 34th Street, but it's certainly a nightmare before Christmas for I don't know. 3-0 in this final, what's going to be the final game here of this best of 5 series. I don't know well, I don't really know, but Escape have managed to escape themselves out of the semi-finals, and they will have a shot at the crown this week in the Rendezvous number 12 here on the Rocket RB and Rocket Baguette as they go undefeated into the final.
GG's indeed. And you know what, Crafters? Their record in this top 16 is getting better and better and better. They won against Patankos 3-2. They won against Rezuizaki 3-1. And here in the semi-finals, they've just swept their opponents. That's pretty great. I don't know how they're going to be feeling about the news that I bring to all of you now, that Chup Chup is actually 2-1 up against Kachaldop. But then again, Kachaldop was 2-1 down against RFN in the quarterfinals, and we know how that ended. So this is a great win, don't get me wrong. But whoever they do face in the grand finals, Crafters, I think they're going to have to turn up the wick another bit. More of that third goal, please. That was beautiful.
I just turned on the stream just to let you know how that one is going. You did say Chup Chup are up to 2-1 in that series. They were just down 4-2 in this game 4. They've scored with 26 seconds left. Now it's 4-3. Potential comeback coming there. So what we'll do, we'll wrap this up dead quick. You head over to twitch.tv/Rocket Baguette, see the end of that quarter or semi-final even, and then head straight back here where Relic and Psycho will have it on the call in the grand final. So it'll be Escape against one of those teams. Go find out who it is. We'll see you in a bit.